In the cold, grey expanse of 19th century England, a young girl named Jane Eyre lived in the Prussian household of her aunt, Mrs. Reed, orphaned at a young age. Jane faced relentless cruelty from her relatives who treated her as a burden. "I was a discord in Gateshead Hall," she laminated, feeling utterly alone and unloved. Jane's spirit, however, was indomitable. Despite the harshness surrounding her, she often reminded herself, "I am no bird, and no net ensnares me." This fierce declaration of independence would guide her through the trials ahead. Sent away to Lowood School, charity institution, Jane endured a grim existence marked by poverty and strict discipline. Here, she met Helen Burns, a kindred spirit who taught her the value of patience and forgiveness. "Life is too short to be hasty," Helen would say, instilling in Jane a sense of hope amidst despair. Under the guidance of Miss Temple, a compassionate teacher, Jane found solace and a sense of belonging, as well as the strength to persevere through adversity. After several years, Jane emerged from Lowood as a strong, educated woman. She became a governess at Thornfield Hall, where she was to teach a young fresh girl named Adele. It was here that she first encountered the brooding master of the estate, Mr. Rochester. Their initial meetings were charged with tension. Jane, self-possessed and unyielding, meets Rochester's fiery temperament with equal strength. "I am my own mistress," she proclaimed, asserting her independence even in the face of his powerful personality. As they spent more time together, Jane and Rochester developed a deep bond that transcended social class and expectation. Their conversations were filled with wit and intellectual sparring, revealing their mutual admiration. "You have no idea how much I care for you," Rochester confessed, drawing Jane into the whirlwind of emotions she had never experienced before. Yet beneath the surface of their growing affection lay shadows, a dark secret hidden within Thornfield's walls. Jane discovered that Rochester was already married to Bertha Mason, a woman who had been locked away due to her madness. Upon learning this truth, Jane's heart shattered. "I will leave you. I must leave you," she declared, choosing her moral integrity over a love that could never be fully realized. With a heavy heart, she fled Thornfield, leaving behind the man she had come to love. Alone and destitute, Jane wandered the moors, finding refuge with the Rivers family. St. John Rivers, a distant cousin, offered her a position as a governess, while his sister, Diana and Mary, became like family to her. In this new environment, Jane discovered her true heritage. She was a heiress to a fortune left by her uncle. Yet despite her newfound wealth, her heart remained tethered to Rochester. When news reached Jane of Thornfield's destruction by fire and Rochester's injuries, she was determined to return to him. I must find him, she resolved, understanding that true love cannot be distinguished by circumstance. Upon her return to Thornfield, she found Rochester in a state of despair. His sight lost and his spirit broken. Yet the reunion was filled with tenderness and understanding. "I have found you," Rochester said, his voice filled with relief and love as Jane took his hand. Together, they rebuilt their lives, united by a bond that was stronger for having endured trials. Jane's love for Rochester was unconditional, transcending the barriers of class and hardship. "I am no longer a dependent," she asserted. As they forged a new path together, in the end, Jane Eyre emerged not merely as a governess or a wife, but as a woman who had claimed her identity and her destiny. Through her journey, she had learned the importance of self-respect, love, and moral integrity. "I am my own," she declared, embodying the strength and independence she had fought so hard to attain. Thus, Jane's story is one of resilience, passion, and unwavering quest for self-acceptance, leaving a legacy of hope and empowerment for generations to come. Jane Eyre, written by Charlotte Brontë, is a groundbreaking novel that intertwines Gothic elements, romance, and social critique. Charlotte Bronte's own life experiences significantly shaped the narrative of Jane Eyre. Like Jane, Charlotte endured the loss of her mother and faced isolation, which fostered a longing for belonging. Her time at the boarding school influenced her depiction of the oppressive environment and Lowood, while her struggles as a woman writer in a patriarchal society informed Jane's quest for self-worth. Additionally, Charlotte's personal experiences with love, including unrequited feelings, added depth to the complexities of Jane and Rochester's relationship. Ultimately, Jane Eyre serves as both a compelling story and a reflection of Bronte's ideals, highlighting themes of resilience, identity, and the pursuit of personal freedom. You can find out more about Charlotte Bronte's life in our channel video, which includes links in the description. Bye!